This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
It is another beautiful morning. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us on the Hello Africa Morning Show. This program is brought to you by the Association of African Universities, AAU, and we are broadcasting live from the headquarters of the AAU here in Accra, Ghana. My name is Isabella Teta Hinakwa, and I'm joined here by my co-host,
Naomi Dako. Thank you for joining us.
Right. Naomi, how are you doing
I'm okay.
morning?
How are you?
I'm fine.
You
just
look so good. You're tired.
Yeah,
you look good. I love your outfits.
Thank you
today.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, what do we have for today?
So for today, like we always do, we are going to be having some top African news stories, as well as sports, lifestyle, and then in our top African news story, we're going to be engaging Dr. Franklin Esiedu-Bekwin, who is the Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, talking about Ghana's first case or confirmed case of mpox since the whole of this year. Of course, we all know that is now, or the World Health Organization declared it a global health emergency. So we need to delve into that. But aside from that, we also have a Marburg virus outbreak in Rwanda currently, and it has taken the lives of some people, approximately about 12 so far. And then we talked about the protest which was happening in Accra last week, and then it continued last week from 3rd of October through to the weekend. And so we'll be bringing you more updates on that as well. I think last week as well, the SIAD team were also at the Accra International Conference Center participating in the Ghana Digital Innovation Week. And so we'll talk about the panel discussion that happened and some of the information that we received or gathered during that. So yes, make sure to tune in and join in the conversation via our social media platforms at Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, AUTV Official on Instagram, and AUTV_universities on X.
Right, so stick with us. We'll go for a quick break.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV.
You're welcome back from the break. First, on our top African news, as the continent struggles to fight against mpox, Ghana has confirmed its first case of the disease this year, sparking renewed concerns as part of Africa continues to struggle with outbreaks of the virus. A press statement from the Ghana Health Service on 1st October 2024 indicated that the case, reported in the Western North region, involves a 15-year-old boy who is now in stable condition following isolation and medical care. Health authorities have identified 25 contacts, 15 from the facility and 10 from the community, who are being closely monitored. Further public health measures have been implemented to prevent a potential spread.
The National Public Health and Reference Laboratory confirmed the case after laboratory testing. The affected patient first reported to a district hospital on September 15, 2024, with a 3-day history of fever, body pains, sore throat, and a rash that initially appeared on the palms and face before spreading to other areas of the body. Although the patient had no history of travel or sexual contact with an infected person, medical personnel quickly isolated him, following established protocols for managing suspected mpox cases. The Ghana Health Service (GHS) has activated several public health measures following the detection of the mpox case. In a press statement, the GHS confirmed the activation of public health emergency committees at the national, regional, and district levels, along with heightened surveillance and sensitization efforts for health workers. Infection prevention and control measures, including barrier nursing, have been strictly enforced. Additionally, personal protective equipment has been mobilized for frontline staff and contact tracing efforts are in full swing. This marks Ghana's first confirmed mpox case in 2024, following 120 recorded cases in 2022 and 8 cases in 2023. The announcement comes amid a broader surge in mpox cases across Africa, prompting the Africa Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization to declare public health emergencies earlier in August 2024. The more virulent Clade 1b variant of the disease has been detected in several African nations, with the Democratic Republic of Congo at the epicenter of the outbreak. Other affected countries include Burundi, Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda, where vaccination efforts are underway. The disease, which causes fever, painful skin lesions, and can be fatal if untreated, has spread rapidly, with close to 35,000 cases recorded on the continent this year alone. Outside of Africa, a few cases were reported in countries like Sweden and Pakistan earlier this year. Although vaccinations and heightened surveillance are in place in the worst-hit regions, the Africa CDC has indicated that the epidemic remains not under control.
Before we move to the next story, so mpox, which is previously or also known as monkeypox, is a virus that is caused by a genus known as orthopox virus. Now, according to the WHO, some of the common symptoms include skin rash, and which can last 2 to 4 weeks, accompanied by fever, headache, muscle aches, pain, back pain, low energy, and also swollen lymph nodes. Now, with regards to the transmission of this virus, WHO made it known that mpox can be transmitted through close contact with someone, as well as contaminated materials or infected animals. Now, Naomi, also during pregnancy, the WHO has stated that it can be passed on to newborn babies, even the fetus in your womb. This is quite an emergency, just like being stated by the WHO. And we all know this started in DR Congo and started transmitting or spreading to other countries. Now, Ghana has recorded its first case. What would you say about this virus, and what would be your suggestion or maybe strategies to help curb the spread of the virus?
Yeah, so first of all, it's actually very concerning that this thing or this virus is spreading to other parts of the continent, because we don't know where it would later end up at. And then just like the COVID-19, it started from one place and then it spread all through all over the world. And it was like we all experienced lockdown and all of that. I think it's very concerning because for one of the ways which one can get or be infected with this virus is through animal contact, and then basic contact and contact with contaminated stuff. And so I would suggest that probably we need to also prioritize this. We need to also treat this just like how we treated the COVID-19, because we do not have to wait for it to become a pandemic before we now putting measures. Yes, now it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic because it is within a small place. But we don't have to wait for it to become a pandemic before we would rush to try and then find solutions to it.
I do agree with you. Currently, there are vaccines available, but it's limited. So they are looking at age range and also maybe having an existing disease or an infection before you be able to vaccinated. But with regards to maybe the large number of people a citizen getting the immunization, it's quite limited. So just like you made mention, we have to take caution and look at how. But I've been wondering, you know, when we talk about virus and the spread of, I've taken notes. It always comes when we are going to the end of the year, when there's winter season and the cold weather, Harmattan season. That is where virus tends to come out and start spreading. What do you think? Is it the condition? Is it the weather that is making it so? I don't know.
Yeah, so for what I know, even fungi thrive, or they tend to in a cold place. So probably we'll need to now start taking measures. When it's getting to that period of the year, we need to be cautious of what we eat. We need to be cautious of our environment. We need to ensure that everything around us is clean so as to not have any infections, because we are always interacting with people. We all people, animals, and whatnot, and we live in an ecosystem. So once we live in an ecosystem, we need to ensure that everyone is clean, such that we do not infect others or even the animals and other things with whatever that we may be going through. So I don't know, maybe we would want to find measures as to how to heat up or warm up the weather during that period. But
well, I would say our urge us all to go back to the safety measures that were given to us during the COVID-19. Probably that is going to limit the spread of the mpox. You should clean your hands, sanitize it, keep some distance with people. Do not get close to people, and even the places where you should have more ventilation around you and all that. I think we should go back and then start practicing wearing of nose mask, because you don't know, it may be in the air. You don't know too much or much information about the transmission. What we know is contaminated materials, getting closer, close contact to people, and also infected material. So let's just go by the strategies that were proposed during the COVID-19. I think we'll be okay.
And I would also urge all governments to make sure that they do much investment in the vaccine production industry, so that these vaccines can be produced in large quantities to be able to address the issue before it escalates into or to becoming a pandemic. But away from that story and still on virus outbreak, Rwanda is struggling to contain an outbreak of the Marburg virus, which has so far claimed the lives of around a dozen people, most of them being health workers. The highly infectious viral hemorrhagic fever is spreading rapidly, with contact tracing efforts underway for hundreds of people to prevent further transmission.
Health Minister Sabeni Nsanzimana confirmed that more than 30 cases have been detected in Rwanda, with 11 deaths reported. Whilst international partners, including the African CDCs, are assisting in the fight against the virus, Rwanda faces a dual challenge as it also contends with an ongoing mpox outbreak. The Marburg virus, which has a mortality rate as high as 80%, spread through contact with the bodily fluids of infected individuals or animals. Despite Rwanda's first encounter with the virus, previous outbreaks have occurred in Tanzania and Equatorial Guinea. The World Health Organization has assured that the rates of global spread remain low, but there are growing concerns over the impact at both national and regional levels. Dr. Jean Kaseya, head of the African CDCs, dispelled rumors of a travel ban but emphasized the need for a local manufacturing of rapid test kits to better manage outbreaks including those of Marburg, mpox, and COVID-19.
We have an update from the protest that has been going on in Ghana. So the demonstration swept through the streets of Accra on Thursday as citizens demanded the immediate release of 53 activists who were arrested during last week's anti-galamsey protest. The ongoing protests, which are set to continue until Saturday, are raising awareness about the environmental distractions caused by illegal mining.
Illegal mining, or galamsey, has become a significant issue in Ghana, with far-reaching consequences for the environment, public health, and the economy. While the government has taken steps to curb the practice, many citizens feel these efforts have not gone far enough. The recent wave of protests has garnered substantial support on social media, with hashtags like Free the Citizens and Say No to Galamsey trending as people rally behind the activists. Organizers have pointed to the severe environmental damage caused by illegal mining, including contaminated water bodies, destroyed farmlands, and the degradation of at least 34 forest reserves, particularly in cocoa-producing regions. Despite government crackdowns, galamsey continues to ravage Ghana's natural resources, prompting the three-day protest to highlight the urgency of action. Demonstrators are calling for immediate government intervention and an end to the illegal mining operations that have left communities in crisis. Other groups such as the Labour Union of Ghana is set to go on strike, and the Catholic Church of the Accra Archdiocese, in collaboration with the Conference of Major Superiors of Religious Ghana, is set to lead a large-scale prayer protest against galamsey.
Right, so still on the galamsey issue, before we move on to the next story, Isabella, what do you think about this whole brouhaha?
Well, I am quite sad because especially when we are still calling on them to release the protesters, because they had the right to state, or they had the right to talk about what is going on. It is ours. The country is ours, and yes, you have governments ruling it, but it is ours. If we see something that is going wrong, that has to be discussed, that has to be stopped. We have the right to state it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, I know for sure that they were arrested because probably they were destroying things and all that. That's why. But looking at the legal way to go about it, I really can't tell, but yes, like I was saying, I'm not sure that they should be remanded or be jailed for that long
2
time.
weeks.
Exactly. And is their right, like I was saying. So I myself, I don't know. I really don't know. And I like the fact that students are also involved in this. And last week we went to the Accra Conference Center and we saw people still protesting. Even if so it shows that even if you arrest us, we still are coming out to talk about this anti-galamsey campaign. And I see videos. People are being involved in this. I see videos trying several strategies to campaign about the Stop Galamsey activities and all that. I saw a nice video where so it's like a man is the owner of an illegal mining area, and he sent one of the guys to go get him water, and the guy apparently fetched some of the dirty water for him to drink. For him to know that what you are doing is causing harm to the people around, because that is the same water they are drinking. So he apparently told him to drink the water, go back home and give that same water to his family and daughters and children to there are several ways to, if the demonstration is not helping, which I know, we can use other strategies to still
sensitize people about the implications of the illegal mining. And it's actually very concerning, because I don't know where I stand on this issue, because I remember before the president came into power, he said he was going to put his presidency on the line to fight illegal mining. But ever since he came, there were statistics that between October 2022 and 2024, there's been about over 2,000 licenses being released. It's not about you giving out the licenses. It's about a state institution or an independent institution ensuring, going around, doing some form of monitoring and evaluation.
How are they doing
assessing the means, how they are extracting the minerals, how they are going about the process of the whole mining thing. I think that is what we actually want, because yes, you can go ahead to mine, because of course we do. This is like 50% of the things that we transport. It brings us revenue. And all of that. So we cannot stop mining, but we are saying that illegal mining should be stopped. And even with the mining, the procedure, how you go about it, should be healthy, such that it does not in the end cause damage to the environment. Because if you are mining in the waters, in our water bodies, and then you are polluting it, of course, you mine with several minerals and all of that. So if you are polluting the water bodies and we are unable to get our fishes in these water bodies, we are unable to, these water bodies,
water, use them.
As what the Ghana Water Company uses to produce the pipes, the tap water for us. So if we are polluting the water bodies, we need to also think about how it's going to affect us in terms of our health, and then so many other things. Because now we are having crisis. We are having issues with our water.
Not just water, forestation. They are cutting down trees, cutting down farms, even buildings and all that.
So the environmental harm is too much. Yes, you can proceed to mine, but the environmental harm is just too much.
So if you say they should stop the illegal mining, someone will say, I have the permit, it's legal, so I still can go on. But like you were saying, the focus shouldn't be stop illegal mining. Even if you are legal, how are you doing it? If you are causing harm, or if you are impacting on other environmental or other resources, you stop. We take the permit from. That should be how the strategy, and it should be strict. It shouldn't be like, okay, we come to you, we talk, and okay, all right, we understand, then we move. No, it should be strict. That if this is what you are doing and it is against what you said you're going to do, we take the permit from you. That is how I think it should go.
So it's like, and that is the issue with most of the African countries. We would implement something, but in terms of monitoring and evaluation, we do not do that. And even the
implementation, I'm sure we have a lot of strategies.
Yes. How do we, on what basis do we even give out the license to these people to go ahead to mine these minerals? So these are things that we can talk about, but the government needs to strengthen its ways to fighting against galamsey. I don't know what to think about this issue or this video. There was this video I saw where the president was on France 24, a channel, and he mentioned that the journalist asked him what he thinks about the protesters being on remand for 2 weeks. And then his response was that the executive works independently, the judiciary works independently. So he does not have any influence. The judiciary knows what it's doing. Or definitely you do something before you'll be arrested. There will definitely be a trigger. So he cannot tell the judiciary whether or not to release the people, because they know what they are doing. But I don't know, as someone who stated emphatically that he was going to put his presidency on the line to fight against illegal mining, I was expecting that he would probably sympathize with the protesters.
And
then,
It's quite.
But we hope that it actually brings results, just like what we saw happening in Kenya.
Yeah. And even Nigeria.
Even in Nigeria. Yeah. Well, away from that, a thought-provoking panel discussion during the Ghana Digital Innovation Week, GDIW 2024, featured an impactful panel discussion emphasizing the critical role of collaborative research between Europe and Sub-Saharan Africa in driving digital transformation. Experts argued that by combining local insights from African startups with European technological resources, both regions can effectively tackle unique challenges and foster sustainable growth.
The panelists underscored the importance of contextualized and inclusive digital solutions, access to appropriate financing, and the need for a mindset shift regarding startups in Africa. They highlighted how leveraging European expertise and funding models can significantly enhance innovation in the African landscape.
And I'm thinking that as part of the SEED project, if you are to look at the research collaboration between Africa and then Europe, we shouldn't just, import things from their place and try to just place them within our locality. We have to look at what is relevant for us and then build on it so that we can actually deliver tools that solve our unique contextual problems. So that is something that I want us to take note of.
The discussion revealed that collaboration between European and African innovators is pivotal for enhancing digital transformation. By integrating local insights with advanced European technological frameworks, startups can better address the specific needs of their communities. Key issues highlighted include the need for patient capital that supports long-term growth rather than immediate returns. This approach is crucial for sustaining innovation processes and enhancing the competitiveness of African startups. Additionally, technical assistance from European partners was identified as a way to reduce operational costs and expedite research and development timelines. Cybersecurity emerged as a pressing concern amid rising digital adoption, with collaboration from European institutions deemed vital for enhancing protective measures. Access to funding was identified as a major hurdle, with a need for European funding models that appreciate the long-term nature of startups. The panel called for a mindset shift regarding Africa's entrepreneurial landscape, advocating for partnerships between African and European universities to foster knowledge and technology transfer. Engaging directly with local communities was emphasized as crucial for understanding challenges and promoting innovative solutions to global issues. Ghana Digital and Innovation Week 2024, hosted by NEIP, Ghana's Hub Network and Impact Investing Ghana, included workshops and networking opportunities to strengthen Ghana's digital ecosystem, demonstrating a commitment to sustainable development and innovation.
Right, that was a video of how everything went down during the Ghana Digital Innovation Week. Isabella, I know you were there representing, with your team, of course, representing the SEAD project. Tell us, give us a brief of how everything was there and what we should expect from this gathering.
Right. So our appearance or participation at the Ghana Digital Innovation Week is part of the SEED activities that were proposed. So actually, it's a learning expedition, and we are to invite innovators and researchers who are interested in the Ghana digital ecosystem. So we had people registering to come here, and we did this in collaboration with the GDIW. So they came here, learn about what is going on, what they have, what Ghanaian have in terms of a digital ecosystem and how they can collaborate with some of the things they are doing from their various countries. So that is why we were participating. We started with the Ascenti conference at the Kofi Annan Institute, where they went there for discussions on digital transformation, and then we had some networking and dinner for our participants. Then the panel discussions on the topic enhancing digital transformation, collaborative research and innovation between Europe and Sub-Saharan Africa. So we are looking at, when we talk of digital transformation, how can the researchers and innovators in the European continent as well as Sub-Saharan Africa collaborate. So we had some panel discussions from the academia, we had some from the startups, we had some from innovation hubs, as well as the Africa Center for Digital Transformation, Madame Evelyn Quatin, among others. So they were talking about things, when we talk about digital transformation, what are they doing? And what can our participants or our registrants notice, and then if they want to collaborate, they collaborate. From there, we also had some ecosystem tour, like I said.
I was just about asking you.
Like I said, we want them to understand the Ghanaian market. We want them to know what we are doing and how they can collaborate. So we had some ecosystem tour. They came here at AAU to know what AAU is doing when it comes to research and how we are also impacting on innovators in the African higher education. They really learned more and they were interested. One was very, very interested in collaborating with AAU. So
nice.
I'm sure he will be coming back. From there, we went to Academic City University, and you know, when it comes to RNI, they are doing quite a lot. STI, they are doing quite a lot. So we took them there to also learn what the school is doing. And then we went to a startup company. I've forgotten the name, but they are into gaming and this VR and all that. Yeah. So they really enjoyed. They really enjoyed the learning expedition. It's a week long program, starting from Monday to Friday.
I see that a lot is being done under this project. And we hope to see more from the research.
This October, we'll be having numerous webinars. So the project is being piloted in 4 regions. So Ghana will be having a webinar, same as Senegal, and then South Africa, then Kenya. So this month is dedicated to webinars, still talking on digital transformation, talking about how collaboration can impact research and innovations in the digital ecosystem.
So your first webinar is happening
16th of this month.
That
is for Kenya.
That's fine.
Now, away from the Ghana Digital Innovation Week, the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, particularly Israel's threat to target Iran's oil production infrastructure, has intensified global market anxieties. Iran, one of the world's top 10 oil producers, currently pumps 3.277 million barrels of oil per day, making it a crucial player in the energy sector.
Following the development, the price of light crude oil futures surged, reaching $72.13 per barrel for November delivery on the New York Mercantile Exchange and $75.74 per barrel for London Brent crude oil futures for December delivery. The oil market saw significant fluctuations, with prices jumping over 5% during U.S. trade before stabilizing. Sarah Vokshuri, president of SVB Energy International, warned that energy facilities and critical infrastructures could become targets in the conflict, impacting oil supplies and prices. She noted that, whilst geopolitical tensions often influence oil prices, the extent of the impact depends on the scale of distractions and market response. Currently, international oil prices faces additional pressure from oversupplies and weak demands. Major Wall Street investment banks, including Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, have revised their long-term oil prices forecast downwards, with Citigroup projecting prices could fall to around $60 per barrel by 2025. Tensions escalated following Israel's recent military actions, including the assassination of Iranian allies in Iran and Lebanon, prompting Tehran to retaliate with missile strikes aimed at Israeli military facilities. However, details regarding the specific targets of these strikes remain classified by Israeli military censors, adding to the uncertainty surrounding the conflict's potential impacts on the global markets.
We'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the news portal review. Please stay tuned.
The CGC Show is back on your screens. This season on the CGC Show bring you nothing short of interesting and of course educative interviews. We are going to delve into the areas of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We will get interactive with our professional and well-experienced guests to educate us on how to attain the career path you have been dreaming of in TVET. On the show, we focus mainly on highlighting career opportunities and job prospects available in the program you are studying or yet to read at the tertiary level. Better yet, we help you understand that whatever venture you are in can contribute to the economic development of our beautiful continent. Join me, Mr. Ko, on the CGC Show on AAU TV as I engage experts and professionals to help build and nurture your career. The CGC Show, your trusted pathway to your dreams.
This is Hello Africa on AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Right, thank you for sticking with us. It still is Hello Africa morning show on AAU TV, and we have just wrapped up with our top African news stories. Now we are delving into our news portal review and onto our first story from the University World News. More than 200 leading African and European researchers convened in South Africa for the inaugural conference of the Africa-Europe Clusters of Research Excellence Core initiative from September 30th to October 2nd, 2024. The Core initiative, which was launched by the African Research Universities Alliance, ARUA, and the Guild of European Research Intensive Universities, now involves 120 institutions from 42 countries. The initiative aims to address global challenges through 21 interdisciplinary research clusters. Aligned with the AU-EU Innovation Agenda, the clusters focus on public health, the green transition, technology, and science capacity. The conference highlighted notable achievements, including published research, capacity-building workshops, and a new African Journal of Creative Economy. Keynote speakers Professor Thuli Madonsela and Fumi Olonisakin emphasized the importance of social justice and equitable collaboration. Discussions also focused on long-term plans, such as establishing a joint PhD program and securing funding. The conference underscored the initiative's commitment to building equitable research partnerships between Africa and Europe to address shared global challenges. Isabella?
Yeah.
You are part of the SIAD project.
Yeah.
And the SIAD project is under the AU-EU Innovation Agenda. I want you to focus on how the SIAD can tap into this and how this is sort of like good news for the project.
Wow, so interesting. When we talk about the SIAD project, although we are looking at the researchers and innovators, but we are focused in the digital ecosystem.
Okay.
And the main aim is to create the pathway, a route to market pathway for these people.
Okay.
How, as part of our research that we did, we realized that, and even without the research, most people, that in Africa, especially in Africa, we have a lot of research findings, we have a lot of innovators, but for them, the opportunity or the avenue for them to get to the market, to tap into the market, is quite a challenge. So we are looking at what are the possible opportunities. How can we solve these challenges, or how can we come up with solutions to address the needs of the researchers and innovators? That is how the SEED project emerged. Now, how can we collaborate, or what do we see as important from this collaboration or collaborative effort? I think the core is also part of the AU-EU Innovation Agenda. So probably we can have a joint events where we can bring researchers from because this is focused on research in the university. So we can bring their their consortium, their ecosystem, bring them together as part of the innovations and the researchers outside universities. Because when we talk about R&I, though we have the academia, we also have research institutions like the CSIR, we also have startups, we have innovation hubs and all that. So we can bring these two people together and there they can find partnership opportunities, there they can find interest in each other's work, and then we move on. That is a way of addressing some of the African development challenges. So it's a good initiative and I really appreciate what you are doing, especially with the focus on university, because when we talk about STI, when we talk about R&I, the attention on university is quite limited, even when it comes to funding opportunities, when it comes to collaborations and all that. People do not really regard the university. So when I see these types of initiatives that are focused, I don't know, maybe because I'm working at the AAU, that's why I'm more focused on the universities and how we can impact on what our universities are doing. But when I see initiatives that are focused in helping or advancing what our researchers and innovators are doing in the university, I'm really happy about it.
Okay, that's good to hear.
And you know, currently, so looking at the clusters of all the aim of it, so as part of their future plans, I really like the fact that they have their next focus is on renewable energy and also artificial intelligence, because now AI is the top, is the trend when it comes to digitalization, when it comes to the R&I ecosystem. AI is what is trending now. So I like the fact that now they would want to focus on AI as well as renewable energy. When we look at our energy, what we've been doing, it's really not sufficient. It's not enough. It's inadequate. So how can we transform our resources, our energy, into something that is more feasible, something that is more comfortable to use and even not expensive and all that. So I really like that the attention of research based on the call initiative is focusing on these two, and we are looking forward to more. Currently they have 120 universities joining from
42 countries.
We have lots of institutions, we have lots of universities. So I'm looking forward that through this platform, through this discussion, we'll get the interest of universities who would want to join this initiative.
And the story also mentions that the conference highlighted notable achievements such as published research, capacity building workshops, and a new African Journal of Creative Economy. I don't know how the SIAD project can tap into this new establishment.
So this is open access, open science. We are focusing on the Enriching Africa Digital Center, the Enriching Africa Center digital market. So they have a digital platform that urges or encourage innovators and researchers to bring on board their services and products. So we are going to pitch, just like they have the journal. So if they have a journal, which I don't know how they use the journal, but they can bring in their findings, we can leverage on the digital platform where people can get access to their research findings and innovations. That is where we believe collaborations can come, and that is where we believe someone will be interested in what you are doing, and they'll move ahead on that.
Okay. Thank you for answering all of my questions. I think you have provided in-depth information on that as well, which obviously is in line with this conference which was held in South Africa.
Exactly. Now, still on the impact of African universities or initiative being done by African universities, we are picking this from the University World News, and it talks about how engaged our African universities are with their communities. Now, in the mid-20th century, universities primarily focused on teaching, research, and one-way community outreach. By the late 20th century, criticism for being detached from national development led to the concept of university engagement, emphasizing active collaboration with society. The Association of Commonwealth Universities, ACU, defined this as thoughtful interaction with society in areas such as setting priorities, connecting learning to the world, and addressing societal needs. This idea gained traction globally, resulting in the formation of the Taylor's Network in 2005, focusing on universities' civic roles. Now, in Africa, many first-generation universities established by colonial powers initially mirrored European models and were disconnected from rural communities. Despite challenges, these flagship institutions have evolved into key players in shaping national policies and addressing societal issues. However, they often maintain stronger ties with European universities than with African counterparts, though regional networks like the Africa Research University Alliance are encouraging greater collaboration. Naomi, universities engagement.
Yes.
They were comparing the mid-20th to the 21st century. I think currently we see the universities doing quite a lot when it comes to community engagement.
Yes.
Now they do not focus on learning, they do not focus on teaching, they do not focus on, just like the script and the news portal made mention, one-way community outreach, whereby they do whatever they do and then bring it or come dump it on the community. No, currently it's a two-way community engagement, and I see the universities doing quite a lot. But the story is saying that they still rely on the European community more compared to that of the African community.
Yeah.
Why is that?
So, like the story mentioned, I would like to make reference to the story saying that in Africa, many first-generation universities established by colonial powers initially mirrored European models and were disconnected from the rural communities. If the institutions set up or established is just a mirror picture of the European model, obviously it will find it hard. It will be very hard for that institution or university to be able to adapt or to be able to even collaborate with a typically African established institution, because there will be some form of disparity. Unlike when these institutions, these first generation universities were established in the African way, there will be that form of commonness where it will be so easy to collaborate, because at the end of the day, you're experiencing the same thing I am experiencing in my institution. But if you have a different model, or you are mirroring the European model and I am using a typically indigenous African model, obviously there will be some form of disparity. So I think that is where, that is the cause of the collaboration not being able to happen, or for us not to see, that is causing us not to see the collaboration between the various African institutions. Aside from that, I think there's still some form of competition as to, at the end of the day, who should lead. Each institution wants to be a champion. A champion of what? Why don't you rather collaborate to be like a network? If you want to, if you are a research institution, just like what the African Research Universities Alliance is doing, it is bringing together all research universities, all research institutions, and then they become one strengthened body. Why don't you form those kind of alliances, but rather trying to compete with other institutions, and then to end up saying that my institution in the end is better than yours? I mean, so we need to veer off the thinking or the thought of, I am better than you in terms of capacity, I am better than you in terms of community engagement. At the end of the day, whatever establishment we have, it is to benefit the community. How do we collaborate to benefit the community? I think that is what should be the baseline. That should be our goal.
So talking about competition, I think that is why some people are against that university rankings and all that. It kind of bring some competitions. And, even the criteria to rank the universities, people are saying it's not contextualized. It depends on the European or the Western part. As instead of they thinking about us, what Africans are doing, how can we rate them, how can we rank them based on based on their strength or based on what they are doing. They rather, so the attention is like, okay, let's do what the Western people want to do, so that we'll be ranked higher. But then talking about the model, I quite agree with you that we focus too much on the Western part, their models in terms of community engagement. But currently, I know for sure, because I participated in one of the Rebel Global University Engagement webinar, and I saw some African universities, like they rely on African models in terms of how they can communicate with or how they can engage the community when it comes to what they are doing, for them to see their impact. And these African institutions, we had, yes, they brought on board some universities from the Western part. How are they doing their university, their models? How are they doing their university engagement? Same way they brought in some African institutions to also come up and to also share how they are doing their university engagement. And I really appreciated what the African universities were doing. They bring some of the communities to the campus to even partake in some of lectures. They go to the community to also teach them. Even when it comes to curriculum development, they involve the community members. So you can see that majority of the percentage when it comes to engagement, they bring in the community. So we can rely on the models. We have quite a number of, I've forgotten the one of the models in which I really liked. I would share soon, but then we have quite a model that was propelled or that was established by Africans, looking at our context, looking at what we can do. They proposed a model which I think most universities can tap in if we are questioning the European models.
So then it's just left for us to make it known for people to tap into, like,
and just like you said, collaborations, because some university would know of what they are doing. They may be best, they may have some best practices. So through collaboration, you may know what they are doing and also adopt to it.
You're right.
Our next story.
So our next story is still on University World News. Cameroon's higher education community has been urged to train leaders focused on peace building to address growing inter-community conflicts both in Cameroon and across Africa. This call was made at a colloquium held in Yaoundé from 26 to 28 September 2024, which brought together university professors, students, social scientists, and civil society leaders. The event, organized by Cameroon's National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, NCPBM, emphasized the role of universities in raising awareness and collaborating with stakeholders to find lasting solutions to conflicts that impede development. Cameroon's former Prime Minister and NCPBC PM President Pisa Mafani Musonge highlighted the need for universities to promote social cohesion and peace through education. He noted various ongoing conflicts in Cameroon, including the Anglophone crisis and clashes between communities in the far north and along the Chad border. Musonge stressed that peace-building education is crucial for preventing such conflicts. Scholars at the event, such as Professor Biman Samichumbo, underscored the importance of universities serving as think tanks for conflict resolution. Professor Bubakari Umaru, rector of the University of Garuwa, called for integrating peace education into school curricula and establishing peace clubs in schools and universities. To wrap up, the colloquium also encouraged higher education institutions to promote social cohesion through academic and cultural exchanges and collaboration between public and private universities. Students attending the event expressed optimism about these initiatives, calling on the government to support the implementation of recommendations made during the discussion. Isabella?
I totally agree. I really agree to this 100%, 100,000 plus percent, because you know, when it comes to peace building or when it comes to advocating for peace, looking at the involvement of university, you can see it's limited. An example is the Nigerian demonstration where universities were being encouraged to go on with, when some lecturers want to also go out and express their views, and they were being told to stay on campus. And so I totally agree to re-including adding peace building lectures and education to our curriculum from the beginning. So as a student, you, based on what you are focusing on, what you are learning, how can you use what you are learning to advocate for peace or to fight for peace, should there be any
conflict?
Conflict. How can you use what you are learning or what you are acquiring, the knowledge you're acquiring, to come up with a solution, a peace building solutions to address the conflict. So to me, I totally agree. Looking at my field as a development communicator, how can I use my strategies, my DevCom strategies, to advocate for peace in Nigeria, in even the anti-galamsey campaign in Kenya, so the same way as someone learning robotics, someone learning artificial intelligence, someone learning coding and other things, you can find ways and means to use your knowledge to come up with solutions, a peace building solution. So I really agree. When we started, you say there's a catch them young.
Yes.
When we start at the younger stage and we let them know you have the responsibility as a citizen of Ghana. It's your responsibility to advocate for peace. It's your responsibility to come up with solution when it comes to peace and all that. So I really agree. I totally agree to it.
I also do agree, because of course development communication, we all know the implications of conflict to development. It would definitely impede development. I think it's good that this has been identified, because peace building and conflict resolution or management is something that people, or even on our part of the continent, on our part of the world, it's not something that is prioritized. We are always waiting for the thing to come in, for the conflicts to happen, and then we'll now devise strategies. But I think, as like you said, catch them young. Once we are able to train them at the younger age, and we all understand how conflict management and peace building can help us to grow as a nation or as a continent, we'll definitely practice it in whatever we do. And then before we realize, we would have the developments that we've always sought to see in our continent.
Yeah, and the story also mentioned the role. So with this, we'll be able to see the role of universities when it comes to promoting peace, because currently we don't see what they are doing when it comes to we don't see what they're. So with this, at least we would know, okay, they are also putting in efforts to promote peace in some conflict areas. Right, so moving on, we are taking this still on the University World News, but on the Marburg virus outbreak in Rwanda. Now, Mount Kigali University has become the first institution in Rwanda to suspend in-person classes to curb the spread of the Marburg virus. On 30th September, the university announced a shift to online classes while health authorities monitor the outbreak. This decision followed the Ministry of Education's declaration on 27th September of the first ever Marburg virus detection in Rwanda. In a speech, Health Minister Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana reported 6 deaths and 20 patients under intensive care, mostly in Kigali. As of 28th September, the World Health Organization confirmed 26 cases with infections spread across 7 districts and 161 people being monitored. Mount Kigali University responded by suspending classes from 2nd to 8th October and training new students and staff on online learning platform. Recreation activities were also halted and hygiene measures intensified. The Marburg virus, which causes a severe and often fatal illness, is spread from fruit bats to humans and through human-to-human contact. The Ministry of Health has implemented protocols to prevent further transmission, including limiting hospital visits and funeral services. Naomi.
Yeah. I think
Marburg virus outbreak in Rwanda.
Yeah.
And I like the swift
exactly
how like
action
the measure
taking or
like,
measure taking.
Right away we have to do something.
Exactly.
They are monitoring, suspending classes when it comes to funeral, like recreational activities. I like how
Rwanda is actually very active in ensuring the safety of its citizens. And Rwanda, I think Rwanda is one country that every other African country can look at. We can emulate some of their practices, because other African countries would wait until the issue has gotten out of hand before they will now try to find solutions to to the problem, but I think this swift action should be emulated in other parts of the continent, in other countries, so as to reduce the spread of the virus. Because once that is done, now you've suspended in-person classes. Obviously, we are not going to be meeting each other. If you are in your home and you are also ensuring that, especially even after now we are saying that they should go stay home, or we are suspending in-person classes, parents and other people, wherever they live, these guardians or parents should ensure that these people are home all the time and not moving up and down. Because in as much as they've suspended in-person class, these people can go out to other places, the markets and other places, and still get infected or spread this virus. So this halting or suspension of in-person classes should be emulated. Recreational activities has also been suspended. So once you are all kept in your home, like what we did during the COVID-19, we'll all end up not spreading the virus should one person or should anyone be infected with it. And we are seeing the death rate now. Now earlier we reported that about 6 people have died out of this virus. So
and 161 people being monitored.
So I think it's very good that Rwanda has taken a swift action or a swift measure to ensure that the spread is minimized.
And also this talks about how prepared they are, how developed they are, because if they don't have the resource, if they don't have the infrastructure, I don't think they will be able to move right away to and we all saw the impact of COVID-19, how some universities struggled to use the digital platform to continue with the educational activities and all that. So this, if we are looking at this, currently we are fighting mpox and now Marburg virus. I'm not saying it's going to spread, but if we want to continue with our activities, we need to look at the alternative ways. We need to be prepared. How prepared are we when it comes to pandemic or epidemic? Imagine if they don't have the resource and they want to break with classes, and a student will be home and it will take quite a long time. Now look at our academic year, it has 10 and people are struggling to go back to the academic year. Do you get me? So we have to find ways and means to find alternative ways should there be any emergency, so that we can just shift from the traditional ways to the digital. I really like what they are doing, and the story is also saying that other universities has also increased precautions with measures like washing stations and sanitation efforts while monitoring development closely. I really appreciate Rwanda.
We commend
the country
them.
Is way developed, and we should also look at it and learn from it, because we don't know. Pandemics are bound to happen, epidemics are bound to happen, emergencies will come. No, even not health aspect. We can look at disasters and all. So we have to be prepared. Africa, the whole continent, we have to be prepared.
Away from that story, and we got the story from BBC Africa. At least 78 people have died after a ferry capsized on Lake Kivu in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, just short of reaching its destination. The boat traveling from Minova in South Kivu sank near Goma shore on Thursday morning, carrying 278 passengers, according to Regional Governor Jean-Jacques Pourisi. Videos show the boat tilting and sinking, with many passengers unable to escape. Rescue operations are ongoing, and officials say it may take days to confirm the total number of casualties, as not all bodies have been recovered. Eyewitnesses like local activist Irona Shuza described seeing bodies pulled from the water and survivors, including injured children, being rushed to hospitals. Survivors recounted the tragedy, with one noting the calm water conditions before the boats began sinking. Rescue efforts were hampered by the boats overloading and rough waves. Overcrowded boats and a lack of safety measures are common in DR Congo, where passengers often travel without life jackets or proper safety protocols. Isabella.
So I saw the video of the boats capsizing. It was quite sad. Like you can see, but you have no option. You have to wait and then get the level of the water before you fall in. And when I saw the number of people in the boat, some were even not in a life jacket. Yeah. So myself, I'm like, if a lot of people will survive from this, then
it's just
I
don't know.
I saw, and it was quite sad. It was quite sad. And where were they going?
They were traveling. I think they were traveling to
moving to a greener pasture.
No, no, they were moving from one end to the other
with that load, overloading. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I don't know. This story is actually a very sad one because ferry is supposed to be able to carry a lot of things, but like you mentioned, they said overcrowded boats and a lack of safety measures are common in DR Congo, and that is my main area of concern. If this is something which is very, very common, then what measures are being put in place?
So is it that maybe the boat or the ferry is limited to, or the number of times it
Obviously, I think it is even the size of the boat. Once the size, it has a specific size, it will definitely be able to only contain a specific number of people. But we all know that people are always in a hurry. Maybe they wanted to just join, and this is something that has not been monitored. Because if you are saying that passengers travel without life jackets, then it means it is something which is very clear. It is something which is known. But what measures are being taken to ensure that these people are always in life jacket? Because we do not, like I said, we do not have to wait for the casualties, for the bad thing to happen before we take measures. If this was a known fact, why then were measures not taken to ensure that they are always in life jackets? Because this is a very sad story. At least, and this is at least, and it was mentioned that they cannot tell the number they cannot confirm the number of people that are dead, because not all of the bodies have been recovered. So I don't want to say we're expecting to see that the number increases, but obviously this is
of course, if by now they still can't find a body, that means
we do not hope to hear bad news. But of course, if the bodies have still not been recovered, then it doesn't look like it's going to be good news anyway. But you always need to have your life jackets on.
And you, the human, like you, a passenger, going, you see the boat is full. You don't have a life jacket. Why tempt?
It's a common practice.
Are you going?
It's a common practice. So it's about education. It's about sensitization. Yes. It's about awareness creation. So once these things are not done, it is something, it's like part of their life. It's part of their living. So it'll be very, very hard for them to now switch to wearing life jackets, ensuring that they are always in life jackets.
And taking the appropriate number or the capacity for a boat.
Exactly.
That's sad. Our condolences to the family that have lost.
Yes, of course. Of course. We'll go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll delve into our trend of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor, or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU ELN Africa LMS.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You're welcome back from the break, and this is Hello Africa Morning Show, proudly sponsored by Vena Purified Water and Biko Drinks. With our trend of the week, we are looking at Lesotho celebrated its 57th Independence Day on 4th October 2024, marking its separation from British colonial rule in 1966. The celebrations included a mix of cultural performances, military parades, and official speeches, primarily held in the capital city, Maseru. King Letia III and Prime Minister Sam Matikane both attended the event, emphasizing the nation's progress and challenges over the years. One intriguing fun fact about Lesotho is that it is one of the only 3 countries in the world entirely surrounded by another country, South Africa. What makes it even more unique is that Lesotho is the only nation in the world that lies entirely above 1,000 meters in elevation, earning it the nickname the Kingdom in the Sky. This geography gives Lesotho breathtaking mountainous landscape and one of the highest, lowest points of any country. So, happy independence, though it passed, but happy independence to the people of Lesotho. Naomi, imagine coming from a country being surrounded by another country. Would you call yourself a South African or a Musoto, a person from
Lesotho? Yeah, it's actually one of the countries I would love to visit because of the interesting fact, which is it's being surrounded inside. It is inside a different country, which is South Africa. Yeah. So I'm just wondering what their relationship is with South Africans. Are they going to be like relatives? Obviously, they are neighbors, but I mean.
So during my trip to Ethiopia, I met one who introduced herself. She's from Lesotho. I'm like, so are you a South African or? And she was like, so apparently, though they are being surrounded by another country, they don't really bond. Trust me, they don't bond.
Oh,
they
I
are
see.
different. Like they want to treat themselves different from that of the South Africans. They don't bond at all.
And it will probably stem from the fact that once you are inside another, because it looks like you are inside someone else's territory. Yeah. And so they want to be able to identify themselves as a unique country. So probably the reason there's that, I don't want to say enmity, but there's that.
It's quite interesting. And looking at the year they gained independence from that of the British colonial, the story, we saw some of their progress, what the nation has progressed so far, and also the challenges they face, they are facing. And I I want to urge them, the citizens and even the authorities and the government, to look at what they've identified as a challenge to come up with solutions. So next year is not going to be another challenge. It's going to be a part of the progress. And obviously challenges are bound to happen. But you should find the opportunities in these challenges so that then you keep progressing. You know, it's not really a big country.
Do you mind if we do a tour to
I would appreciate that. I would.
Let's see. Pray for me to make some more money.
And please, if you are watching us and you'll be able to sponsor us for a trip to Lesotho, we are happy to accept it.
Yes.
Right. So we'll go for a quick break. We'll be back with sports news.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
The CGC show is back on your screens. This season on the CGC show bring you nothing short of interesting and of course educative interviews. We are going to delve into the areas of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We will get interactive with our professional and well-experienced guests to educate us on how to attain the career path you have been dreaming of in TVET. On the show, we focus mainly on highlighting career opportunities and job prospects available in the program you are studying or yet to read at the tertiary level. Better yet, we help you understand that whatever venture you are in can contribute to the economic development of our beautiful continent. Join me, Mr. Ko, on the CGC show on AAU TV as I engage experts and professionals to help build and nurture your career. The CGC show, your trusted pathway to your dreams.
This is Hello Africa on AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Welcome back from the break. Now we are going to delve into the world of sports, and of course I have my co-host here with me to help me do the sports news. Philemon.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Great.
Can you take us away, tell us what is happening?
Right, okay, so we'll go straight into sports and we will begin with trending news. And it's interesting to hear news about Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
Paul Pogba has had his 4-year ban from playing football overturned by the Court of Arbitration for Sports and could return to training with Juventus very soon. The France international midfielder has been serving a 4-year ban from football following a doping test where he tested positive for a banned substance. Pogba was tested following a match for Juventus against Udinese. The 31-year-old played no parts in that game and he remained an unused substitute. An initial appeal for the ban was rejected. However, following an additional appeal, it appears the former Manchester United player has had his 4-year ban overturned. The player's fine has also been dismissed as part of the ruling. Following the ruling, Pogba could return to training with Juventus in January and begin to play matches for Juventus as soon as March.
It is an exciting news for me because I was actually very sad about his ban on playing football. So to see him return, we miss him on the pitch.
It's good to hear. Pogba is a good player.
He's
a good player. So.
You know, he was one of my favorites until he was given the ban, of course. And then I switched to I don't wait for anyone. So I switched from Pogba and then straight to this guy, Erling Haaland.
Yeah,
Erling Haaland is my player.
As a Manchester United fan, I wonder why you were switching between United
I don't
players
want to
and
talk
then
about
Manchester
City.
My you don't want to talk about them.
Want to talk
Unfortunately, they are part of my news today, so you
I know
a bit about them. It's unfortunate. Yeah,
they drew their match.
They drew against Aston Villa.
Imagine.
It's a 0-0 draw.
I saw the board, like I don't know whether to call it a board or the league table. Yes, that's the word. The league table, and they were, I think they're the 14th.
14th on the table.
Disappointing.
Very disappointing. We'll get into it. So still on trending news, let's talk about Erik ten Hag, the Manchester United manager.
He needs to go.
So Ruud van Nistelrooy is said to be offered the Manchester United job if Erik ten Hag is sacked. But reportedly, he has reservations about replacing him. Ten Hag is on the verge of losing his job after a poor start to the season, which has seen his side win just 3 games from the first 9 games in all competitions. It is also reported that at the start of the week, Ten Hag, who is 54 years old, had 2 games to save his job. That was the 3-3 they played against Porto and then this weekend's game against Aston Villa. So we'll see how it works out if the United Chiefs are still willing to keep Ten Hag in there, because it looks as if he's not performing well, and Van Nistelrooy, as you can see on the screen, that's most likely to replace him. But we'll see where that goes.
Obviously, no one is happy about his performance. Even the players are not happy about his performance.
They are not.
If you are the coach of a great team and they are all not happy, I think it's about time that they allowed him to go. I don't know what is keeping them from
nobody is able to tell, because United has not got a good coach since Ferguson left, and consistently have changed coaches trying to make things happen in the best way. So it's very interesting to know that Ten Hag has kept his place for even more than a season. It's interesting.
How do you win just 3 games out of 9 games?
Yeah.
Manchester United was never like that.
Yeah, I sympathize with the fans of United, but hopefully
almost every weekend you get your heart broken by these people.
Support a good team, you'll be fine.
I've moved from them, though. I'm still searching. Chelsea impressed me this weekend. I don't know if
Chelsea is doing well.
Yeah,
they're doing well this season, so probably they might be in top 4 definitely.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. So still on trending news, Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann of France has called time on his decade-long career with France. He says he has retired from international football. So he's no longer going to be playing for France, but he's still going to be active in club football. And over the weekend, he played his 400th match for Atletico Madrid.
I saw that game.
Yeah, and it was a draw game. It's a 1-1 draw game. So we'll see who is able to replace him in the French team, because he was quite instrumental when he played with the team. And let's get into updates in the main leagues around the world. We'll begin with the English Premiership. Manchester City won 3-2 at home against Fulham, and Mateo Kovacic scored a brace in that game. Arsenal also won 3-1 at home against Southampton, and it was an emotional game for the Southampton goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, because he recently left Arsenal and he had signed for Southampton. So a return to the Emirates was quite emotional for him, but he had a pretty good game and he was welcomed by the fans because he was quite a good servant for Arsenal. And then Chelsea, like we just said, also drew 1-1 with Nottingham Forest. And then Liverpool won narrowly against Crystal Palace by 1-0. And Crystal Palace are yet to win any game in this season so far.
I don't think I've even heard of them that much, or since they started the Premier League.
They are struggling, and they lost a few players as well, because some players left. For example, Jordan Ayew left to join Leicester City. So the team is not in good shape yet. They added a few more players, like Nketiah from Arsenal joined them, but he still has not been able to show his prowess like he was doing for Arsenal yet. So I think Crystal Palace has a bit more work to do to get themselves up there if they really want to do what they have to do. Otherwise, if they are not careful, they might be relegated this season because they haven't won any game, and they have played 7 weeks of games so far and haven't won any game yet. They've drawn only 3. So they need to set up. Let's get into Manchester United's news. They continue to struggle as they played a goalless draw with Aston Villa. And we don't know where it's going to go. In the middle of the week, they played 3-3 in their UEFA game against Porto. They were actually lucky to draw that game. So I don't know what's going to happen. Well, we'll see maybe if a possible change of manager can make something. Well, we'll see about that. So into La Liga, Barcelona bounced back to winning ways as they won 3-0 against Alaves, courtesy of Robert Lewandowski, who scored a hat-trick to give them the 3-0 win. Real Madrid also found their winning formula back when they won 2-0 in a game against Villarreal. And then Atletico Madrid also drew 1-1 with Real Sociedad. Yeah. And in the Real Madrid game, unfortunately, one of their most influential players, Dani Carvajal, got injured. He's due for surgery sometime within this week, but it appears he might sit out the rest of the season. The injury looks bad. So it's made their injury list a bit longer now.
Yes, because I know Kylian Mbappe is...
yeah, but he's back. And so he played in this game. But they still have a few players who are not playing yet. So it's worrying because he's the major player who plays on the right side for them. So if he's not able to return, I don't know what's going to happen for them, but we'll see what Carlo Ancelotti will do. That's why he's being paid the big money as the manager. And into Serie A, AC Milan lost 2-1 against Fiorentina, and they have themselves to blame because they had 2 penalty chances and they failed to score. And they lost the game 2-1. We'll see how it plays out for them after they return from international break this week. And Inter Milan also won 3-2 against Torino on Saturday. And finally, in Bundesliga, Bayern Munich were again held to a 3-3 draw against Frankfurt, and Bayern gave up the lead late in the game. Last week they drew, this week they drew. I don't know what's happening with them, but hopefully they're able to find their rhythm again, probably after the international break. So that will be all for sports segment on the Hello Africa morning show.
Before you go, are there other games scheduled for this week?
This week we are doing international break, so more games are going to be centered on the nations. The Black Stars are playing on the 11th.
I wanted you to touch on that. I heard that the CAF
they're playing.
Approved,
Finally, CAF has approved. Yes, I omitted that from my news. The CAF has approved the Accra Sports Stadium for them to use as a playing ground. So on the 11th, they are playing against Sudan. So we'll see how that game goes. And the interesting thing is, our former coach, Kwesi Appiah, is the coach of Sudan. Now, I don't know what is going to happen. I know it might be emotional for him playing against a club or a team he has coached before. But let's see how he's a professional, so he's supposed to do his job. So we'll see how it works out for him.
I'm Ghanaian, but I'm really hoping that Sudan wins against us.
Well, no comments on that.
Just to prove a point.
I know where you're going with that. To review this,
to give updates on that match. Then I'll tell you my reason.
No problem. we definitely will see that match and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Philemon, for the updates in the world of sports. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show. Don't go anywhere.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629-6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Right, that will be all for our this episode of the Hello Africa Morning Show today. Isabella, before we go, can you give us a rundown of what we discussed?
Right. So today on our top African news, we looked at Ghana recording its first mpox virus case, and also Rwanda battling the Marburg virus.
Yeah.
And then we also looked at the current news from the protesters, or the protests going on here in Ghana, Accra to be specific. And we also had some topics or some activities that happened at the Ghana Digital Innovation Week, among others. And also from the sport, Naomi, I heard you saying you are moving, or you are are you a lawyer fan?
I am, but they've broken my heart into pieces. Remember, I told you that as of last week, I had just one piece of my heart left. And then over the weekend, they did not win their match. They did not win their game.
Means
so
you are not loyal.
Now I do not have a heart.
I do
not have a heart to love Manchester United.
You are not loyal.
It's just too much.
Because a loyal fan of a football club, no matter what, like me, Ghana Black Stars, no matter what, I still support the team.
No.
Anyway, so I'll use this opportunity to encourage us all, people from Ghana, all the African countries, to take the safety measures to prevent, especially Ghanaians, since we've recorded our first mpox case. Let's go back to follow the COVID-19 safety measures that were proposed to us: cleaning of hands, sanitizing your hands, and also materials that are closer to you, and also keeping a distance from someone closer to you, because we really do not want to hear mpox being a pandemic. And also to people of Rwanda, we appreciate the fact that you swiftly moved to look at how you can prevent the spread of the Marburg virus, but keep on using or keep on following the measures that have been proposed to you.
Yeah. So that will be all for our the episode. Like I mentioned earlier, don't forget the show is proudly brought to you by Venom Mineral Water and Bigo Drinks. And of course, we have been streaming live on our Facebook and YouTube channels at Association of African Universities. You can also join in the conversation via Twitter or X at AUTV_universities, and on Instagram at AUTV official.
Right, my name is Isabella Hinakwa, and I've been here with
Naomi Dapo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.